Hello and welcome to another Motors.co.uk in the know video. My name is James Batchelor. I'm a motoring journalist who helps car buyers both in print and on YouTube. Today I'm answering questions about pickups and SUVs sent in by Motors.co.uk users. Right then, let's get into it. Okay, first question that's come in. I currently own a Nissan Navara, and when having it serviced last week, I was keen to look at upgrading to a newer model. However, the dealership advised me that Nissan is ceasing further sales of new pickups in the UK. With this in mind, could you recommend a similar pickup? Does this also mean that now would be a good time to sell my current pickup? Well, I'm sad to say the dealership is correct. Nissan won't be replacing the Navara. When stocks run out, predicted to be around early next year, they will not be replacing it. I mean, it was expected Nissan would bring the new, heavily updated Navara to Europe this year, but the Japanese brand has been hit hard by reduced sales of the Navara and its sister car, the Renault Alaskan, across Europe, and along with the cancellation of the Mercedes-Benz X-Class as well. That was another Nissan Navara spin-off. So it's not looking good for the Nissan Navara in Europe. In fact, the UK pickup market has really slimmed down in recent years, with a number of models being axed from sale. The relatively new Mitsubishi L200 will disappear for good once dealer stocks have all sold out. The L200, in fact, was a leader in this segment, really. So you could try and find one of the last remaining ones, and you might even be able to get a good deal on one. However, I would look at the Ford Ranger. It's currently the best-selling pickup in the UK, as it's good value for money. It's tough and it's good on the road and off the road. A couple of other alternatives are the Isuzu D-Max and the Ssangyong Musso, the latter being available in short and long wheelbase form, so there's a bit of choice there for you, and it has a surprisingly plush interior as well. Now, in terms of whether it's a good time to sell your pickup or not, the used vehicle market at the moment is very strong. I mean, it's just unprecedented levels of demand and prices at the moment. So I would cash in on your Navara as soon as possible. Remember though, if you are going to be buying a brand new pickup to replace your Navara, the waiting times will be long due to a wide variety of issues affecting new car supply at the moment, and they're affecting new cars and commercial vehicles as well. So just bear that in mind. Okay, second question that's come in. I'm torn between a Volkswagen Tiguan and the Volkswagen Touareg. What are the pros and cons of them, and which would you recommend? Well, firstly, the Tiguan and the Touareg, I mean, they've been the mainstays of VW's SUV range for well over a decade now, and they've only recently been joined by smaller SUVs, smaller crossovers in the shape of the T-Cross and the T-Roc. Now, the Tiguan and the Touareg, they're both very different SUVs though. The Tiguan is more of a family-sized offering, while the Touareg is more of a luxury SUV. I mean, this is exemplified by the fact of the cars that share the underpinnings from these models. The Tiguan, for example, uses the VW Golf's underpinnings, whereas the Touareg, well, it can count the Bentley Bentayga, the Porsche Cayenne, and the Lamborghini Urus as its sister car. So that gives you an idea of roughly where they're placed in the market. Now, the Tiguan, that offers a very well-built interior, plenty of space for five, and it drives pretty well too, actually, in a relatively compact package, whereas the Touareg, well, it offers more of everything, really. It's a larger SUV, it's better off-road. Some models have tricksy suspension, which allow you to negotiate rough terrain a little bit better. And the most recent Touaregs, they have an enormous, they have a very tech-laden interior with an enormous touchscreen in the centre of the dashboard. The Tiguan is more of a family hatchback that's slightly higher off the road. And it also comes in a 7-seater version as well. It's called the Tiguan All Space. So that model sits between the Tiguan and the Touareg. In terms of which one I'd recommend, it's very hard for me to give my recommendation really, because it purely comes down to your requirements and the type of SUV you need. So if you're looking for a family-sized SUV, go for the Tiguan, and if you want something a bit larger, perhaps to impress the neighbours a little bit more, then go for the Touareg. Okay, last question for this month. I'm in the market for a 7-seater car, but want something that doesn't look like a box. Are you able to help? Unfortunately, a Tesla is out of my budget. A Tesla is out of my budget as well, unfortunately. I do understand the predicament you're in, really, because if you're looking at a 7-seater that doesn't look like a box, then we can rule out MPVs. Even the most stylish MPV, relatively speaking, is the Citroen Grand C4 Space Tourer. And even that is still a bit on the blocky side, I suppose. Your question also rules out electric cars, really, because apart from the Tesla Model X and the Tesla Model S, with its tiny little 2 tidal seats in the boot, the only EV 7-seaters on sale are converted vans, which again are probably a bit too cuboid for you, really. This only really leaves petrol, diesel, and even hybrid and plug-in hybrid SUVs, really. And there is plenty of choice in this department. The cars I'd narrow it down to, really. Well, my first recommendation would be the Volvo XC90, as it neatly combines all the elements that we love about Volvo estate cars into a flexible and fashionable SUV package. You can fit 7 adults in the XC90. Yeah, even the 2 rearmost seats, adults can fit in back there. The interior is stylish, it's very well made, and there's a large choice of petrol, diesel and hybrid models. Now, if the XC90 is a little too large for you, and it is a large car, the Land Rover Discovery Sport is a good option. Now, there's space for 5 people and 2 children in the back, or 2 teenagers perhaps. It's got class-leading off-road ability, it looks great, and of course it's got the kudos of the Land Rover badge. A few other suggestions for you. Kia Sorento, Peugeot 5008 and the Skoda Kodiaq. They're all very spacious, they're well proven, and they are good value for money. They may not have the luxury image of the Land Rover and perhaps the size of the Volvo XC90, but they do offer a lot for your cash. Well, hopefully those answers have helped. Thank you to those who have submitted questions this month. If you'd like me to answer a question, then follow the link in the description box below. Until next time, thanks very much for watching. Bye-bye.